All right, welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always ready to break down some NBA action.
You know, we love to go beyond just the scores and really get into the why behind those wins and losses. And we've got 5 games to dissect this week.
Okay, let's hear it. Lay it on me. What have we got?
So we're going to be looking at the Clippers versus the Knicks. Then we've got the Kings battling it out with the Spurs.
All right, a couple of good matchups already. What else?
Oh, it gets even better. We've got an overtime thriller between the Nuggets and the Suns. Then the Timberwolves taking on the Heat. That one was close.
Ooh, I love a close game. You holding out on me? There's got to be one more.
Oh, of course. Saving the best for last. Thunder going up against the Trailblazers.
Now you're talking. That's a solid lineup of games. Looking forward to breaking these down.
Me too. And it's going to be interesting to see how teams are finding different ways to, well, win. We've got stifling defense, explosive offenses, games going down to the wire.
You said it. Really showcases the different ways you can find success in the NBA.
All right, so let's jump right into it, starting with that Clippers-Knicks game. The Clippers took home the win, 105-95.
A decent margin, but I'm guessing it wasn't just about outscoring them, was it?
You know it. Their defensive strategy was the real story here. It was like they had the Knicks in a straitjacket the whole game.
Yeah, I saw some highlights. Their defense was suffocating. What were they doing that was so effective?
It was everything. They were contesting every single jump shot. They shut down drives to the basket, completely disrupted the Knicks' flow. Like I said, straitjacket.
And that's tough to play against. You can't get anything going when you're constantly under that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
I bet Julius Randle had a rough night.
Oh, absolutely. He was basically double teamed every time he touched the ball, just couldn't find any space to work his magic.
Well, the Clippers really solidified their image as a contender with that kind of defensive performance.
Yeah.
What about the Knicks? Where do they go from here?
Well, they've got some work to do on the offensive end, that's for sure. They need to find ways to create better scoring opportunities and maybe take smarter shots. Play a little smarter, not harder.
Makes sense. You can't rely solely on talent if you're not playing smart. All right, so we had a defensive battle. What's next?
Complete opposite end of the spectrum. The Kings just exploded on offense against the Spurs. Final score 127-109.
Whoa, that's a statement win right there. What was the key to that offensive explosion?
Depth. It wasn't just a one or two man show. It was everybody contributing. We're talking Harrison Barnes draining threes, Richaun Holmes dominating the paint, Davion Mitchell dishing out assists like it was nothing.
So a real team effort. That's got to be encouraging for Kings fans.
Oh, absolutely. If they can keep this up, keep getting those contributions from the whole roster, they could be a real problem in the playoffs. And the Spurs, well, they just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, sounds like they were just outmatched. So balanced scoring, beautiful ball movement. What else caught your eye in this game?
Honestly, their shooting accuracy was insane. It was like they couldn't miss. The ball was just finding the bottom of the net every time. The Spurs had no answer.
All right, so we had a defensive battle, an offensive showcase. What else we got?
How about a nail-biter? The Nuggets squeaked out a win against the Suns in overtime, 149-141.
Oh, wow. 149-141. That's a lot of points. Sounds like an offensive slugfest.
It was. Both teams were just trading baskets all night long. It was like a highlight reel in real time.
Who were the standout players in that one? Anyone have a particularly good night?
Well, for the Nuggets, Jokic, always Jokic. He was dropping dimes left and right. And for the Suns, Booker and Durant were just unstoppable.
Sounds like an incredible game to watch. So how did the Nuggets manage to pull out the win in overtime?
Honestly, I think it came down to resilience. The Suns put up a heck of a fight. Booker and Durant combined for over 70 points.
Wow, 70 points. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the Nuggets just kept grinding, kept pushing, and found a way to get it done in the end. It was impressive.
Gotta love that overtime drama. So a defensive masterclass, an offensive clinic, and a high-scoring thriller. What's next?
Well, how about a game that went right down to the wire? The Timberwolves managed to edge out the Heat, 106-104.
Oh, man. Talk about a nail-biter. 2 points. That's got to be stressful for the fans.
It was intense, that's for sure. The energy in the arena was electric. Both teams were playing with so much heart, it was anyone's game.
So what was the deciding factor? How did the Timberwolves pull it off?
I think it came down to composure. In those last few minutes, they just stayed calm, executed their plays, and didn't make any costly mistakes. The Heat, on the other hand, well, they had their chances, but they just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, that's tough. You got to make those plays when it matters most. Missed opportunities can really come back to haunt you. So a game of inches, a game of composure. What else is on the menu?
Last but not least, we've got the Thunder taking down the Trailblazers 107-89, and this one was a masterclass in teamwork and defense.
Interesting. So not just relying on individual talent, what were they doing differently?
It was like they were all on the same page, reading each other's minds. Their defense was stifling, just completely shut down the Trailblazers' offense.
So they controlled the pace of the game, really dictated how things went, and the Trailblazers just couldn't find their rhythm.
Nope, they just couldn't get anything going. It was impressive to watch the Thunder just totally neutralize their biggest threats.
All right, so we've seen some impressive defense tonight. Sounds like the Thunder really did their homework.
Oh yeah, they were prepared, they were focused, and they executed their game plan perfectly. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, yeah, he led the charge for them on offense, but it was really that team defense that won them the game.
Yeah, that's what wins championships, that lockdown defense. It's not always flashy, but it's effective. It reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about the Kings. You said they have the potential for a deep playoff run. What makes you so confident in them?
Well, I think it starts with their offense. It's just so versatile. They have so many guys who can score from anywhere on the court. And they move the ball so well, it's like poetry in motion.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's tough to defend a team like that. You can't just focus on shutting down one or two players. You got to be ready for anything.
Exactly. And it really wears down the opposing team. They're constantly having to adjust, constantly having to think. It's mentally exhausting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, the Kings, they've shown they can win in different ways, too. They can slow it down and grind out a win, or they can push the pace and run you out of the gym.
That adaptability is huge, especially in the playoffs. You're going to face different styles of play. You got to be able to adjust.
Right. You got to be able to play your game no matter what the other team throws at you. So we're talking about the Kings' offense, their adaptability, anything else that stands out.
Well, I've seen a lot of people comparing them to the Nuggets, with their offensive firepower. What do you think about that comparison?
It's interesting. I mean, both teams have a lot of scoring threats,
Yeah.
and they both play a fast-paced, free-flowing style.
Right. It's all about sharing the ball, finding the open man, creating those easy baskets.
But the Nuggets have Jokic. And he's Jokic. A generational talent, a guy who can just take over a game.
True. He's a force of nature.
Whereas the Kings, they're more balanced. They don't necessarily have that one superstar, but they have a bunch of really good players who contribute.
It'll be interesting to see how those two teams match up if they meet in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure. That would be a must-watch matchup. Now, speaking of must-watch moments, we had a couple of nail-biters this week, games going down to the wire.
Oh, yeah. The Timberwolves and the Heat. That one was intense. My heart was racing the whole time.
Those close games, they really highlight the mental side of the game. The pressure's on, every possession matters. You got to stay focused.
It's about staying composed, executing your plays, not letting the pressure get to you. Easier said than done. Right.
Oh, absolutely. It takes a lot of mental toughness to thrive in those moments. You're tired, you're sore, the crowd is going crazy, but you got to block all that out and just focus on the task at hand.
It's almost like a Zen state, right? Just being in the moment, letting your instincts take over.
Yeah, I like that. And it's not just about individual players either. It's about the team as a whole, trusting each other, communicating effectively.
That's so important. You got to have that belief in each other, that confidence that everyone's going to do their job.
All right, so we've talked about offense. We've talked about mental toughness. Let's circle back to defense. Got to give some love to the Thunder.
Yeah.
Their defense against the Trailblazers was just phenomenal.
It was textbook. I mean, they completely shut down Damian Lillard, which is no easy feat.
It's like they knew what he was going to do before he even did it.
Yeah.
They were anticipating his moves, cutting off his passing lanes, forcing him into tough shots.
And it wasn't just Lillard. They were disruptive all over the court, forcing turnovers, contesting shots, just making life difficult for the Trailblazers.
They were clearly well prepared. They scouted the Trailblazers meticulously, and it showed in their performance.
They had a game plan, and they executed it perfectly. You love to see it.
I do. It's a reminder that basketball is a game of strategy as much as it is a game of talent. You got to have both to succeed at the highest level.
So true. Looking at all these games, it really feels like the Western Conference is wide open this year. Any team can beat any other team on any given night.
Oh, yeah. The parity in the league is incredible. It makes it so exciting for the fans because you never know what's going to happen.
Every game is a battle, and the playoff picture is still very much up in the air.
It's going to be a wild ride to the finish line, that's for sure. Can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun finish to the season, that's for sure. So if you had to pick one team from these matchups, just one that really caught your eye, who would it be and why?
Oh, man, that's tough. There were some impressive performances out there. But I got to go with the Kings, I think. Their offensive firepower is just undeniable.
Yeah, they can put up points in a hurry.
And they've got contributions coming from everyone on the roster, which makes them really dangerous.
Right, it's not just a one or two man show, which is huge in the playoffs.
Absolutely. If they can stay healthy and keep playing with that same confidence, I think they could make a deep run.
I'm with you there. They're definitely a team to watch. But hey, what about our listeners? What do they think?
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Which team impressed you the most this week? What storylines are you following as the season winds down?
Hit us up on social media. Let's keep this conversation going.
It's amazing how much there is to talk about, even with just a handful of games. We see the individual brilliance, the team dynamics, the strategic battles, the constant pursuit of excellence.
It's all part of what makes the NBA so captivating. Every game adds another chapter to the story of the season.
Exactly. And we get to experience all the ups and downs, the surprises, the drama as it unfolds.
It's a wild ride, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
So keep watching, keep analyzing, and keep that passion for the game alive. We'll catch you next time.
See that, everyone?